And
Well, I can.
we're live.
Oh, oh no! That means we can get in trouble.
So, welcome you guys to Urbanish Digital. Now we are doing interviews live, and Suzanne Coy is one of our tryouts. Let me just stop. So we are interviewing Miss Suzanne Coy. She is all the way in Toronto, Canada. So thank you so much for being on with me and taking your time out and actually spreading some love throughout this time. So Lord, let the people know who you are.
Okay. Well, hey y'all, you can just call me Zan. And I am, like you, a divine being. And this is an exciting time. I think when COVID hit, it's like my friend said, it means, when they said go home, stay home, that means go and be who you are, soul, because we're not the body, we're not the mind, we're not the emotions. We are that spark of God. We are that child of God. And so go home, stay in God, stay in unity. Do not feed the fear and rage monster.
Right.
Okay, because psychic pressure's up, and this is a time of spiritual initiation. This is a time to just claim your own golden age and have infinite creativity and
Yes.
share your heart with the community so we can, disentangle and ascend. Disentangle and ascend. you know?
Yes.
So I think one thing we're going to share with you right now is I think in these times, with that shadow of fear looming to capture our creative imaginations,
Right.
now more than ever is a time to place our divine attention and know how we shape our reality by
Right.
where we place our divine attention. And in these kind of tumultuous times with so many kids, I mean, parents are scared. Their kids are
Right.
just addicted to the screen. So I'm very proud to be part of a brand that offers parents a wonderful option in this vast sea of streams. Mission Bonita provides creative solutions to problem solving while thoroughly entertaining young audiences with extraordinary characters that seamlessly move between fantasy worlds and everyday reality. It's
Right.
kind of like the magical school bus of emotional intelligence and mental health. Now, our audience, it's geared towards 6 to 10 year olds, but it's very entertaining. Why don't we just play the first episode, which
Okay.
is called "The Gross King Put Us Under a Spell."
I will go ahead and share the screen.
Yeah, we could just play that. And then the next episode is the evil king takes over the show, and then tomorrow we have our third episode dropping at 11. And you can just go on to Miss Benita and Friends YouTube channel and watch and subscribe and like us.
Yes. I'm getting everything pulled up.
hmm This Mission Benita web series is based on Lisa Lulu's successful book series, and then we could just make it big.
Okay.
If we open that all the way up. Her book series called Miss Benita and Friends. So on the other side, how we can.
Is it? You see the screen, right?
Yeah, but you should make it big. If you go down here and make it like the whole screen down here, down
Oh.
on the right hand side of the.
Oh. Okay.
There,
Gotcha.
yeah, do that. Press that. There we go. Yeah, that's it.
So
Mm.
introduce this first
Okay, well,
episode.
this
So
first
you guys.
episode, just so you know, this is starting from the end of the show after the king has put a spell of fear on everybody. This is Momo, the mood reporter. He's also the game show host, and he's also sometimes a lawyer. And you would call him at 1-800 You Can Help Yourself, which is the whole point of the show. No matter what's going on, COVID, presidential elections, for kids, it's what how can I change my consciousness? How
Right.
can how can I change my attitude? You know. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay.
Now you have to turn up the volume. There we go. Whoop.
Yep.
Bear with us. We just have a few technical difficulties.
All right. That's the loudest that it's going from my laptop.
Okay. Is it can anyone hear it?
Um, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure they can. Is it really low on your side?
Oh yeah, it's low on my side. I don't really hear it on my side, but if you hear it, that's all good.
Okay.
So, this is like the end of the show at the beginning where so Miss Bonita is this magical character. She's 17. That's her right there. And Lisa, that's the author of the show. And there's the evil king. And so basically, Miss Bonita has a magical message box, and she can receive
Oh,
messages from kids with problems from anywhere in the universe. And then she invites us to help them solve their problems, solve the problem. So you can hear that, right?
yes.
Okay.
And then we're also provide a link as well for
Yeah.
everybody to go back and look.
So that she's like Mother Africa, Grandma, Auntie Wisdom. She's always letting kids know you have a choice.
All right.
You can go hang where it's nice and bright with Miss Bonita, or you can go to, Grumpy Butt Radio and hang out with the king and be complaining.
So on here, you're a producer and you're also one of the
Actors, yeah.
actresses.
I'm one of the executive producers, and I'm also I'm also playing May May the Mystique. I got permission from my union to do
Mm,
that, so that's good.
super cool.
And because I'm a energy medicine practitioner, a lot of the things that my character comes up with are real techniques for rebalancing.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so you have volume. It's just that I don't, but that's okay.
Yeah. So, in when you guys were creating, like, how did you come about of becoming one of the executive producers on this particular show?
Well, I'm an acting coach,
Okay.
and is your why does it say that your microphone is off? That's bizarre.
Oh, on one of them it is, and the
Oh,
other
okay.
one it isn't.
All
Because
right. So,
I have another screen that me and you can see that no one else can.
okay.
Oh, you
So,
know what?
uh,
I see what's going on.
it really isn't on.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to take the you have to unmute.
All right. Hold on a second. So what I'm gonna do is for everyone, because I know we're live as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to share on
Link.
our page
Okay,
and actually
that's fine.
promote it.
Yeah, you could share all those three links: the first episode, the second episode, and the YouTube channel. Um, because tomorrow at 11 a.m. New York time, we drop the third episode, which
Okay.
is all about being canceled. So the first episode is about Jaden's writes for help because his grandpa, is in the hospital with a virus and everyone's scared. And Lisa Lelouch, who's actually the writer of the book series it's based on, she
Mhm.
sends a letter to Miss Benita and says, "Hey, you're not the only one who feels this way." And in her letter is the principles of when you have a problem, first thing to do is talk to somebody about it,
Right.
and that's just a built-in principle, and then realize that you're not alone,
Right.
and then you can gather answers from friends and loved ones of how to deal with your feelings, and what you can do to a creative solution that you could do, whether it's doing journaling or learning something, a guitar or something, to fill your heart with joy, or just being able to talk about it with people.
Right.
So
I,
and then at the end of the episode, the bad king, so my character is always offering solutions, and so she gives them a technique how to feel grounded when you're feeling discombobulated, and people start trying ways to feel better. So the bad king says, "Oh, you think you can feel better during this virus? Boom!" And he releases a spell of fear.
oh
And
wow.
then you see how people react to fear. One person just falls asleep. One person is just shivering. The writer of the show, she can't write because she's scared of her pen and she's scared of her dog and she can't touch anything, you know. And so then my character says, "Hey, you guys out there, we got to break the spell of fear. We got to laugh for no reason."
Right.
So once we get enough laughs, that breaks the spell of fear.
Oh
And,
cool.
and and it's funny because these guys know me, and that's something I used to do all the time. I would certify people to laugh for no reason.
Right.
And how I came to the show is I have been an acting coach for like over 25 years. I've been like yourself, writing plays for kids and performing them, and it's that's always a challenge. I mean, I remember
Yes it is.
I had from 2 to 16 years old,
Oh wow.
16 kids in a show that I wrote. It's
Right.
like there's a lot of different states of consciousness. So
Yes
anyway,
it is.
Michaela, who is now 23, came to my class, and I just love to find opportunities for kids. I just love to welcome the genius of a child and just be a bridge for them to contribute, their talent to the world. And so I just started throwing her on sets. I'm like, "Okay, you're going to be a crew, you're going to be a host, you're going to be," and I just kept throwing her opportunities, and she's like
Right.
developing her skills as a writer, as a producer. Guess what? She now wrote this web series and
Oh
directed it
cool.
at 23. Yeah, so here's my little student being my boss, right? So, but I'm always, passionate. I got to send you my latest discovery. Jasmine Headley. She's 7 years old. She went at the Black Lives Matter. She knelt down in front of the police. She sang them a song about rise up, and it was like you just want to cry. When you see this
Wow.
kid, this little black girl, 7 years old, and she's got enough light for 22 universes. And my thought was, I don't want nobody to shut that down.
Right.
No, because I know me and you, we got
Yeah.
shut down. Like, "Oh, you're too bright for this world."
Oh yeah.
And so we just want to make a circle of love around those kids and just give them a place to shine. So right now, by the end of next week, she's going to have a top agent in Toronto because they met me.
Oh,
and
cool.
she's going to be in our next show. She's 7 going on into grade 3. I'm gonna send you a clip about her.
Yes,
Wrote,
please send
she
it.
by herself wrote her own song. Nobody asked her about George Floyd. And
Mm.
no, like no girl, is too deep. Yeah.
Wow. So how has COVID changed the way that you have been conducting as far as being an actress and executive producer? How has it
Well,
been?
we had to have a COVID shoot, so we would just shoot one actor
Mm.
per day, and they would do all 4 episodes.
Right.
And so we did. It was a skeleton crew, and it was really just out of our back pocket. But there's a lot of iterations with this brand. We
Mm.
have a high school musical feature film.
Oh, cool.
We have a Broadway show in the
Right.
next book. There's live shows that go into the communities. I'm just talking to Pastor Francis. We're going to see if there's a festival or something going on in town where we can just show up and offer the show.
Right.
Um, uh, so, and then we have the little web series. And I'm right now shopping it to a broadcaster to become a TV series.
Oh, cool.
And that could, we're flexible. That might end up being half animation, half live action, or
Mm.
we'll work with a broadcaster to develop it for how they want it, because it's such a great brand. There's the books, there's all kinds of characters to license, and Comfy the teddy bear, and that came out of
Mhm.
Lisa is a social worker, but when she was working at a daycare,
Mhm.
she's trying to find a way to talk about heavy subjects to kids. And one thing kids have a problem with is expressing their feelings.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if they got angry, she would get Comfy Bear, and no, you can tell Comfy Bear how you feel, and he can be the person you're mad at. And so she's got all these characters and all kinds of merchandising, and she's got, like, because there's the Lulus and the
Yeah.
Nunus. So the Lulus are like the good angels. When you get on the right track and you want to be creative and you want to be a channel for God and you just want to be the love you are, you get
Right.
the Lulus are around you. But when you
Right.
want to go over with the bad king, you know how you say, okay, I'm going on a diet, and then 20 people offer you chocolate cake.
That's when they mostly offer it to you.
I know.
They don't never think
It's like
about
that.
giving you nothing until you go on the diet.
I know it's the negative doing a test. Are you sure you want to do that? So those
Right.
are the new news when you want to stay complaining and discouraged, and you want to make your problem bigger. Then the new news are around you. So she's got like Pokemon. She's got each of the Nunus and Lulus. They have a power and they battle. So she's got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow.
She's just one of the most she's just an empowered goddess. And one thing is that in this show, like, her whole family was involved. So her 2 kids were in the show, and her husband was helping with the show. So that kind of helped with the COVID situation.
Right.
But we want to just keep going, because we're having a good response, and we're working with a great social media guy now to really and they have songs too, right?
Oh,
She was
cool.
like, and they're songs, those kind of songs that just, like, you know um I got a wish for tomorrow, and we're winning, and it's cool to be kind. Like, there's songs that touch your heart, and you want to sing them.
Right.
So they're also working on an album.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's an
That's really
exciting thing, and I like my character, because they just base that all on me. 'Cause they know all the crazy things I do. Like, when Michaela's not grounded, I'm like, okay, let me show you a technique.
Oh, cool.
Take your foot, and you take a fork and you fork your foot. Okay, so my character's doing that in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take a spoon, and it's equivalent to walking barefoot on the grass for 20 minutes. You
Oh
spin
wow.
your foot, the bottom of your foot. Now, girl, you're going to feel something. You start to feel tingles. You start to feel a connection to the earth. And what the spooning does is it increases the ion exchange between you and the earth, which is alive, as we know.
Right.
And you start pulling up that nourishing energy into your kidney meridian. Okay, because I'm studying. I am an energy medicine practitioner, so we work
Oh
with
cool.
how you can change your energy by just working with your meridians, working with your aura, working with your chakras. You can shift your energy, and that helps you shift your attention, that helps you shift your consciousness, so you
Right.
can get yourself out of a funk. Because maybe if you're exhausted, you need to strengthen your kidney meridian, or you need to
Right.
calm down your triple warmer, which is your fight flight, commander. The commander of the fight flight instinct is the
Right.
in Chinese medicine. So my character will just come up with these things that they just see me do all the time and laugh
Well,
at.
we need you to start posting more so we can get in some of these habits because my fight flight be on 10 all the time.
All the time. Oh well, girl, I got you. Here's what you do. Okay, we're gonna do something. You might be in what they call triple warmer reactivity. Now, this is if you are feeling like you're reacting to everybody.
I do.
Okay, so you take you take your thumb and
Uh-huh.
put it over your index finger. Actually, your index finger. Yeah,
Hmm.
like that, and then you put that at your temple, and you put the rest of your fingers across your forehead. This is
Uh-huh.
called triple warmer reactivity pose. So if you're lying down in bed, you put some pillows under your arm,
Hmm.
or you can just go on your knees like that. And now here's what's going to happen: you hold this position for at least 3 to 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
you will feel like a pressure cooker. You know when you take the lid off a pressure cooker and it goes,
Yes.
you're literally releasing the energy of reactivity
Oh
from
wow.
your body,
Wow.
because we are a matrix of energy.
Yes,
We are
absolutely.
electrical beings. So
Right.
sometimes, like I was just doing a treatment on somebody, and they just from their knee down, if they pressed on the outside, it was just painful. And the
Oh
same thing
wow.
in their back. So you know
Yeah.
what? In the back, that was their bladder meridian, which rules your nervous system, and it
Mm.
was completely frozen, right? And so when you have frozen energy,
Mm.
pain will stay locked in the body. So I just took a magnet and I went North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, and then I made figure eights. Now
Mm.
you don't have a magnet; you are a magnet. This is this is the South Pole. This is the North Pole. So just by going like this, where you have pain and frozen energy, that can break up the energy. Then you make a figure eight. And then if I press that same point, you will feel a difference. And it will
Oh
be
wow.
freaky. But it's just because you are an electrical being. And
Right.
we can get just our electricity tied up in knots and blocked, and we have to have the flow, right?
Right.
And then we can feel that surrender of like just being anointed in the grace of the divine, you know.
Yeah.
And we just say, because that's what we got to do now. It's like, you know what, I can't do nothing.
Especially during, because it's crazy. Like during COVID, it's so many people like that's going through so many things because so many people are extroverted. Like the introverted people are in
They're just
love,
they're just reading books, yeah.
right? But the extroverted people are the people like they have like this mental capacity where like their brain always have to do something that makes them feel wanted or needed. Like they're going absolutely crazy.
Okay, so what they got to do is they got to find something to learn. Whether it's glass blowing or hoponopono. Do you know what hoponopono is? It's like,
No, what's that?
okay, hoponopono is cool. So I can't even say the guy's name because it's a Kahuna kind of name.
Okay.
Is Polynesian, but
Okay.
this doctor, and when he first learned about it from a Hawaiian Kahuna, he thought she was crazy. You
Mm.
know, because she would say they're in the class, and she would say, "Oh, do you see all those disembodied spirits around the light?" And he's like, "What is she talking about?" And he ran out of the class. But he just kept. It took him like 5 years. Then he started experiencing what she's experiencing. So his whole philosophy is you got to be at zero, and then God can work. So they send him to a criminally insane ward. Okay, these are the worst of the crimes. Who knows? Maybe they chopped up their mother or worse. Anyway, all he did was take the file of the criminally insane. He
Mm.
looked at it and he said, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you." In other words, whatever in me allowed you to cross my path, because this is a mirror universe, I'm sorry for that part in me that allows you to be that way. Please forgive me for that part in me. And he just kept doing it till he got to zero. But
Mm.
weirdest thing happened. They all started getting healed. When he got there, the place was so negative. Toilets would flush and no one's in the bathroom. It was so
Oh, wow.
negative, the paint would peel. It was so negative, no staff wanted to be there. You know, it was, you could breathe in the negativity.
Right.
And as he started to do this, everything changed and the patients started to change. And in 2 years, the place was obsolete because everyone got healed from just, and he would say, "Oh my God, you healed everybody." He said, "No, I didn't. I just was working on myself. God did all that."
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like radical forgiveness. It's
Yes, it is.
you're taking responsibility for the person in front of you, you know. So say your sister's raging at you, you would just say, "I'm sorry for whatever anger in me allows the magnet of you to express in this way. Please
Mm.
forgive me." You're saying this to God. You don't say it to the person. You're just
Right.
doing this work with God so that you're at zero, you have no data,
Right.
and then spirit can come in. And then divine inspiration can come in.
Right.
So that's interesting. I mean, there's lots of things out there to learn.
Wow. Right.
Here's a great one. Here's a great one you can do. You just okay, if you're in fear and anxiety, put one hand
Mm.
here, one hand here. Do that for 5 minutes.
Mm.
That just calms down the fear.
Oh, wow.
Each emotion is associated with a different body part.
Mm.
Anger is associated with liver, so you would go like this. Grief is associated with lungs, you go like that. You know, so panic is associated with heart, and you go here a little bit higher in the
Right.
back. Or another thing you can do is you just open your heart
Mm.
to the presence of the divine. Think of something that fills you with love,
Mm.
no, and it could be person, place, or thing. Could be your dog, could be the top of the mountain, you
Right.
know, and just imagine that there is a rain of love, you know, and you're going to just fill yourself with God's love, and you're just going to sing a sound to God that is like a song of love. And so that sound is like the primordial sound of creation. So,
Mm.
and it shows up in all different cultures and religions. It's HUU like this. Hugh, Hugh, and you sing that, and you imagine
Mm.
you're showered in this love of God, and you're singing all your love of God, and all of a sudden your mind starts to calm down,
Right.
and it turns up your inner listening, and it turns up your inner sight, and you might see a light within, or you might hear a sound like a high pitched flute or something,
Mm.
but it just um, prepares you to listen.
Right.
We're being called right now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We're being called to not feed the fear monster
Right.
because it's getting bigger every day.
Yes, it is.
Don't, and there'll be subtle ways, right? All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it'll be politics, it'll be something, and we'll be wanting to, you know, get angry and fearful, and instead we just got to keep our attention
Right.
on the divine. We at this time, and on what can I create? What can, like, you're putting stuff out there. That's great.
Right.
You got to be out there inspiring people.
Right.
We
Yeah.
can.
And that's so much is important, especially like Friday when I had got the news about Chadwick Boseman,
uh,
of his passing, and it's just so amazing when people live in purpose, and on purpose, So I just look at people, and people don't understand when it comes to things like this. Like, you are a actress and you are an executive producer, and it's a lot of things with your family that you may miss by doing things to entertain other people. So people, I think we really take for granted of people sharing their gifts with us or with each other, you know.
well, with Chadwick, of course, I went and rewatched Black Panther,
Right.
and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, he
Right.
was battling cancer when he was jumping around like that.
Yes, and he was doing his own stunt. A lot of the stunts they say he was doing it himself. And I was like, that is
Like, does that talk about being your best self and doing your best and
right.
living in gratitude? And I mean, he gave us a legacy.
Yes, it is.
We
Yeah.
got we got to take up that baton and continue.
Right. Cause I know he did Get On Up and 42, which was Jackie Robertson. Like, his
Oh,
performances were phenomenal. So I
phenomenal.
knew he was gonna do Black Panther justice.
Oh, yeah.
Because like and then too, when I was listening and they were talking about him, like his peers, and they was like, well, he was the type of person that came on set and he boosted, everybody else. Like, everybody else had to step it up, so, and that's kind of what we was talking about off the camera, where you have to be, what the authentic, well, I can't even say it, like, really
Authenticity.
be
Yes.
authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He is an example of what we were talking about before about, this new star system that's more connected with the griot from Africa than
Right.
psychotic egoism that can sometimes be a disease in Hollywood, and that the
Right.
actor is this conscious being who's trying to just be present, be embodied, use soul's creativity and imagination, and have conscious awareness, and be flexible, and be disciplined, and be a vehicle for divine love, and have humor, and be a masterful listener, and be detached, and be in gratitude, and be patient,
Right.
and be flexible. He's part of the new star system.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it's
Yeah.
and then it's so many people, that are like that. Because I know when I step foot into the entertainment business, like, when I'm dealing with business or with other people, I'm so much calmer. So that's how I knew that was my purpose when I
Yeah.
stepped foot. Because, like, the me personally, I was like a little firecracker.
You're a fire. Okay. I
Yes,
got it.
but me in the entertainment industry, me doing interviews, me talking to you, or just dealing with or writing stage plays and seeing it come to life and stuff. It's like a calmness that came over me.
Right.
Yeah, so
Like
I was
eye
like,
of a hurricane.
yeah.
Yeah. Like you're
Then
in the eye of
and
the
then I tried to, like, it was so important too, but where I seen, like, he like a lot of the actors and actors really get to enjoy when they come on set as well, when the directors and the producers are calm, and like you said, like, they're exhibiting certain behavior where they're not being narcissists as well.
it, that's
Behavior.
I would say that's the occupational hazard of acting is self-absorption, and complaining is right up with there. Complaining is like, sneezing on somebody. I mean, it's just it's contagious and it's dangerous. You know,
Right.
complaining is more dangerous than we're not wearing a mask. That's for sure.
Right.
You know,
Yes, it
so
is.
I think you're right. I think that if we can have this kind of ego-free film set, and that is the job of the producer, just hold space like a
Exactly.
tone holder, hold a space of love that helps bring out the best in everybody, and then we could just do acting from the heart.
Right.
That's actually the name of my company, Act from the Heart, you
Oh,
know.
cool.
And yeah, and so you could stay out of the ego, you know,
Right.
or if you or just be like my sister would say, be responsible so that you know you agreeing to stay in the frequency of wise loving kindness,
Right.
and then you're going, oh, I'm off of wise loving kindness, I'm going over to grumpy butt radio for a minute, but I'll be back. And,
Right.
and you apologize, you
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
so and that's crazy you say that because when I know that I'm getting to a certain point,
yeah.
especially when I know I'm around a magnitude of people and I want them to perform at their best, and sometimes I have to like pull myself down. Like I know as a producer and as or whomever you are, but because to me they're just titles. We're
Yeah.
all people. We're still all on the same level of
Oh
playing
yeah,
field.
yeah, this, yeah.
So you just the person that they gotta actually come out of the pocket and you're more responsible. That's it. And that's how I see any or everything in Hollywood. And so it's just crazy because I was like, you're supposed to remain humble, no
Humble.
matter who
I
you
like.
are.
You know what? I was looking up a definition of humility, and I was working on it because I had to get humble. I had a humble lesson the other day, what I was telling you about before, when I felt like the PSWs were like being a bear peeing around a tree, and the tree's my mom, and they own my mom, and they're like, keep your mask on, stay back, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, and
Yeah.
and so, but it's like, just be humble, respect that they're territorial or otherwise, but I was looking up a definition of humility, and it said being confident in yourself
Right.
as a channel for love, as a channel for God. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that is deep. And so when you're practicing humility, you always leave a place better than you found it. You go, you know what I mean? You go into a public bathroom, I'll be like, because my grandmother would always say that, I'll be like wiping the pipes or shining them, because you're
Right.
serving God in everything you do,
Right.
and so you don't, it doesn't matter.
Right.
On the set, you'll clean the toilet, you'll do whatever, you go get the food,
Exactly.
whatever has to be done, and you
Right.
do it because you're serving God in
Yeah.
everything, you know. So
Yes.
that's what I
So
think we're getting back to now.
what are some of the other projects? Because I know you're also an acting coach as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
Um, so what are some of the other projects that you are working on to have coming up?
Well, I have this series that is dear to my heart, and this, I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
And so there is, in our community, we have all that kind of craziness, that shaming, that shadeism, and
Yeah.
all kind of. So in Jamaica, you have weird things. You have weird things because anywhere the British colonized, you always have a section of the society that tries to be more British than the British, right?
Yeah.
So in India, you've got the Anglo Indians, and they're like, "Oh, my dear, are you coming for tea and crumpets at 4 o'clock? And we worship
Right.
the Queen, and we don't associate with, the
Right.
Hinduism and those savages, right?"
Right.
And they and like, "Who are you?" And so, and same in
Right.
Jamaica, you got this section, and they'll never be saying they're black people. They'll be like, "Oh, but my dear, you have good hair, and you have a nice complexion, and what is your
Right.
mix? What is your
Yeah.
mix?" I look at them and I say, me nah know about you, but me's a black woman still. You's a white woman. You are suffering from the sodomization of colonization. You better go get a treatment for that. It's like,
Right.
hello, you from Africa. It's an African country. And we got to stop all that division because you got, Jamaicans who don't like Trinidadians, and then Caribbeans don't like Black Americans, and then Canadian blacks don't like, please. We're all part of the diaspora.
Right.
And we all got a lot of healing to do.
Yes, we do.
We got a lot of healing to do, and we gotta stop all that. So
Right.
in Jamaica, the woman, now you got to remember, Bob Marley was singing like a white man at first. But this woman, Louise Bennett, she relegated, patois as something beautiful.
Right.
And patois is associated with chat bad. That means you don't know how to talk, right?
Right.
They're trying to imitate white people. They're trying to imitate the English, and she would just come out and like, right, what good, I walk on, and she would do all this poetry
Oh
in
wow.
in the dialect, and then she inspired, Bob Marley to be singing in patois, and she is the mother of hip hop, of spoken word, of reggae, of dance hall, of rap. She's the mother of it all.
Wow.
So I was working with her son and grandson, and we were making a show called Walk Good, because that's what that's one of the things she would say. She says all kinds of things. She says things like, okay, for an insult, she would say, "Your foot them favor capital K. Your foot them shapeless and long. Like somebody stand far, fling them on, make them catch on wrong." So you are so knock-kneed and pigeon-toed when you walk. That it's
Right.
like somebody stood far away and threw on your legs and they didn't hang on right. That's what that means, right?
Oh wow.
So she
Right.
she got all kind of things. They got all kinds of crazy things they say in Jamaica. Proverbs like, "When dog have money, him yam cheese." So when a
What?
dog has money, he sets
Yeah.
to show off that he starts eating mouse food, right?
Oh
He
wow.
will eat cheese.
Right.
It's just like talking about people who are like nouveau rich and just showing it off so much and it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what that means. But that's
Awesome.
one of my projects. Then I got,
Right.
my comedy and poetry that I'm gonna get out online. And yeah,
Awesome. So just
yeah, I'll give you.
well rounded and just I love it. So before we get ready and close out, I would like for you to share all your social media platforms where people can reach you or if they want to take an
Okay.
acting
So
class.
I think you're putting the link of Miss Bonita and Friends YouTube channel.
I
There
am.
you can watch our first episode. The king put a spell on us. The second episode, the evil king takes over the show, and the third episode is coming out tomorrow. Well, it's coming out Tuesday. What day is that? September 1st
Okay, yes,
at
tomorrow.
11 a.m. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can like and subscribe. And yeah, that's so anybody
Awesome.
can email me that wants to. I'm at actfromtheheart.suzannecoy@gmail.com. But okay, I'll leave you with a joke about man's arrogance.
Okay.
So you know how we are. And so we're so arrogant, you
Yeah.
know, we're always playing my God is bigger than your God. Can you tell? But I'd like to be part of
Right.
anything as long as I'm directing and controlling it, such as religious leadership. That way I could be part of the management of God. That's really great because during this lifetime, I will be working on greed. What's mine is mine. What's yours is mine. What's theirs, I want. Get it, the big man. So that's a nice, loving couple. They're going to go off and do a special project here in this classroom of Earth where we, create dramas for our own involvement.
Right.
But we always have this. this dichotomy of, are you going to be coming from soul, which is this part of us that is just, yay, I'm going to make more room for love inside myself. And then you start like
Right.
spiritual enema. That's what's
Right.
happening now. We're in having a spiritual enema during COVID, where all our limited beliefs are coming up so we can let them go. And you got to
Yeah.
let them go. You don't want to like look at them and keep
Right.
them there, because that would be like, you know, instead of flushing the toilet, be going, oh my God, here's some poo, poo, poo. And you put it, no, you just want to flush the toilet.
Right.
You got to do right now. You know what I mean? We got to
Yeah.
let go of our limited self-imposed beliefs that keep us in mental slavery.
Right.
And so we can be who we are, not the ego,
Right.
right? But then my joke is, even this is how we come to prayer if we're the ego. Because I think the problem is we're doing directed prayer. We're saying, God, and we're saying, I'm mad at this person. I want to do that, fix that, cure that, do this. We're bossing God around. Like, that's really
Yeah.
it. Can't
Mhm.
we just come in humility and surrender and listen to God?
Right.
But no, this is what we do. We do this. Dear God, I'm not getting away with nothing no more. So I might as well talk to you. I'm
Right.
a cup of mud. I want you to fill me with your light and love. Take all that blocks me away, as long as it doesn't cost me anything or make me look bad or fat
Right.
or ugly or bruise my ego, because that's my vehicle for getting around on the planet. But really,
Right.
I'm so ready to let go of 25 pounds of dead weight blubber, to be exact, and my good for nothing spouse and my mortgage payments. But you know that veil that comes over the mind at birth to block the shock of truth? I like it. It's sunscreen. Truth burns. I mean, just look what happened to Paul on the road to Damascus. I mean, who needs that? He was blinded. I have mercy. Make
Right.
me forget. I don't want to know how many lifetimes I've been stuck in this stupidity. I want amnesia. Where's your magic wand? Your bag of tricks? Your crystal ball? Fix it, make it better. Don't ask me to help. I'm only human.
Right.
So that's my
Yeah, that's exactly how we sound.
right.
That's exactly. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed you today, and I look forward to having you on again.
You are
Um,
my sister. Anytime. Yeah.
yes. All right, you guys. So I will be putting the link out for Mrs. Bonita
Yeah.
with
Mission
Van.
Bonita. Just like
Yes.
and subscribe.
Yes. So make sure you like and subscribe, and also make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Urbanish. So until the next time, stay positive.